What's up, everyone? Welcome back, mi gente, for another episode here with Growing Together Nursery. I'm Dwayne here, and today we're going to discuss something that it hit me as I'm talking to a lot more people these days about growing and gardening. Today we're going to discuss, is gardening for you? Is this something that is for everyone? Um, Hit me that, I love this. I love this. This is a passion of mine now. Um, Started doing this about, all in all, 10 years of like the actual, I started a couple seeds 10 years ago, but really seriously, about 4 years, going on 4 years now here in this property. But there's a lot of people that don't get involved because they are scared to go ahead and make mistakes, to go ahead and fail. They're scared of a lot of different variables in this game. And it is difficult. I'm not going to sit here in front and tell you that, oh man, this lifestyle is easy. First and foremost, yeah, it's a bunch of pots back there. It's, you got to have them. Unfortunately, the way my camera angle is set up here, I only have so many places for this tripod. So I know it's clutter. It's a work in progress. Pray for me, all right? But anyways, it is a hot day here in 9B. First and foremost, before we go ahead and discuss other things about is gardening for you, I am making up some more of the borax and sugar solution that I make. It's basically like a simple syrup in here for the ants. That's one of the biggest issues with growing. A lot of gardeners complain that, yes, they start gardening, the ants come in, they invade their fruit trees or plants or whatnot because they start, mining sucking bugs of all different sorts, and it gets out of control. They spray them, they kill their stuff, and now it's a revolving door, right? For me, what would I like to do here is to control them as naturally as possible. I don't use the 7 dust. You guys are going ham on that stuff. I know it's cheap. You got, 50 pounds of it, and it's safe, right? Everything is safe, right? On everything, yeah. You're basically taking out everything. Everything. It is bleaching the ground. Be careful, y'all. But you do you in your garden. But as for me, I control the ants. You control the ants, then it doesn't fester into a problem later on. So anyways, 95% sugar. I didn't make this on camera. I didn't make a video earlier, but I went ahead and deleted it. Anyways, about 95% sugar, a little bit of borax, maybe a couple tablespoons per gallon. There isn't probably some proper instructions online. I don't ever measure. I just kind of little this, a lot of sugar, a little bit of borax, and some water to go ahead and make like a slurry. And what I do here is I put them into plastic bottles. I make a little window here. That way they can go ahead and climb into, and it's shielded from the rain. So whenever I water from the over the top here, it won't go into the solution and it won't dilute it. So, and there's ways to go ahead and hide these. These aren't the best looking things to have laying around. It looks like litter. That's why I always explain it to y'all, because yes, I understand that it doesn't look sightly when you got a bunch of these sitting at your base of your fruit trees, but it's for a reason. It's for the ants, but you can hide them, put them in pots. If you got pets, you can, well, bigger pot than that, but you know what I mean? You can hide these fake rocks, put them in something where your pets can't get to them. My dogs are okay now. Through the years, I'm sure they're going to realize, hey, old Ro's pretty good, but Kiwi's still, she's learning, folks. She's learning. But yeah, they get used to them and they won't mess with them. So, but if you have to, put it in a box, somehow make a hole in there so the ants can still find this. But they will go ahead and they will eat some and take some back to the queen. So we'll go ahead and wipe out the colony. So anyways, I just fill up a little bit of these with a little bit of the solution. You don't need much, and it lasts for a while. So just fill up a little bit, and I'll toss these out, and we'll go for a walk and see what else is growing today. But anyways, is growing for you? People, one of the first questions that they ask me is, man, it's a lot of work. And how often do you have to water? How often do you have to feed? And you gotta go out there and you gotta cut them in. I only put a little bit in there. So it's like a little bit. I'll lay it on its side. It'll coat the bottom. So just a little bit, folks. Hopefully y'all can see that. It's just a hair. You don't need a whole lot of solution in there. They will find it. Trust me, they'll find it. But I got 2 bottles here. This is an older one that I had, and you will see the dust in there from all the little ants in there. So it's pretty effective, and again, pretty natural, right? Just borax, sodium borate, however you pronounce that, and some sugar. But be careful with kids and pets. You know your animals. I'm not telling everyone to use this. I'm telling you that I use this, right? The difference. Just a little bit in there as well. But look it up, do your own research, start small and see how it works for you. But I hide these underneath the pallets. I put them all kinds of different places and my trees are looking great. All right, the ants, that's one of the biggest complaints with mulch, is that mulch will bring in the ants. That is because they're breaking down. They are composters, right, by nature. All the bugs come up, they start eating the mulch, and then here come the ants to go ahead and farm. And you know, the whole cycle, right? Anyways, but with this, I can actually mulch more places without having these colonies spring up everywhere. So anyways, let's go. Enough with the jibber jabber. Let's run and show you some cool stuff and talk about, is this lifestyle for you? Hang on here while I get situated here. Is this lifestyle for you? And you got to think about it. You know, I don't know. Some of y'all are just now getting started. Some of y'all have been doing this for a while. There's all different levels to this game, and that's cool. And guess what? I will always be learning out here. We got some Barbados cherries that are starting to kick off some blooms. So what I'll do is I'll just take one here and put it at the base, kind of tuck it back in there, hide it so that way Kiwi can't get to it. And then this one, I got one more here. I think I'm zoomed in. Hang on, folks. Ho, ho, ho. 1 second. There we go. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I got one more, and man, everywhere needs it, right? But I kind of select where they go depending on what's coming out right now. And right now, the ants are on the Venus. So I went ahead and put 2 over there earlier. They're hitting the fruit. Even though you bag them, they still can't get inside. This is the Fairchild, and the ants haven't hit that one yet. So that one's okay. But is gardening for you, folks? As we're walking, you know, some of you, again, if you're just now getting into this, you look at this and you go, my gosh, it's a lot of work. I don't want it. I don't know where to start. You know, like David the Good says, analysis paralysis. Let me put this down. But see, I got more in the pots there. So yes, it does look like rubbish, but it is not, because they're holding fruit and the ants will go in there and just wreck the fruit in there. So I just have to spray them with the hose to clean off the fruit if they do reach it, but I try to put them in there. That way there's no issues. The Maria's got one over here as well. And this Jabo that just started flowering, this white Jabo, let me see if you can see those blooms. Well, the blooms just closed up. Can we get them? It just closed up, but we'll see if anything's going to hold on that. But anyways, this was we'll put that one in there for now. That was a relocation. My neighbor said she did not want it anymore, more of a rescue. Hasn't fruited for him forever. And thanks for doing the work, putting in the good work. I just up potted her, gave her a nice little trim, and now she's popping blooms. So, is it a lot of work, folks? Yes. I'm out here watering every day, unless it rains, right? A lot of pruning. You will have Popeye forearms if you love this pruning life. It is not for everyone. All right, you'll have them kung fu grips, right? But listen, it is enjoyable in many different ways. It will give you stuff in return, you know, but there's levels to this, right? If you just want to put in a little bit of work and try to eat a bunch, there's crops that can give you a little, you know, a lot of return for a little bit of an investment up front. But in this game, it is one of those. This is the carry. I'm waiting for more. I was thinking the more blooms were coming, but she just gave me some more growth there. But in this game, the more you put in, the more you get out. The more trees you put into the ground, the more TLC you show these girls, the more fruit they will show you in return, right? I found that fruit the other day. This one's the day. Somewhere in here, of course. Every time I go ahead, there she is, down here. Oh, we don't believe you. There's a baby little one right in there. But anyways, the more you go ahead and put into the ground, the more you reap. The more you sow, the more you reap, folks. That's the way she works. It is biblical, but it's the truth. Is it hot out here? Oh, yeah. There's not a cloud in the sky. They're saying it's a micro heat wave for the next like 4 days, no rain, and high in the 90s, like 98 in Orlando. So I am playing in the shade as much as possible, and I don't want my phone to overheat. But yes, is this lifestyle stressful because you are battling Mother Nature? You know, whether it's a hurricane or the winter, yes. You know, but when you do get fruit, is it the most exciting thing? Yes. You know, this is the yellow Groomy Chama that I'm waiting to see if these are blooms coming or if this is just growth. I've been told that this is one of the finest Eugenia fruits in all of the land. We shall find out. Still got 2 more Groomies that are holding over here. Let's see if we can go out in the sun for a hair and show you these 2. But yes, is this growing lifestyle for everyone? Some of y'all love the couch too much. Some of y'all love, there's 2 in there that y'all can see kind of through the shadows. But yeah, 2 more. Some of y'all love that couch lifestyle too much. And Cheetos are way too nice. They make it too good. And them shows keep spitting out episodes by design to keep your butt on the couch. No, get your behind outside if you want to go ahead and make some changes. Some of y'all love it. Keep doing you. Listen, that's all right. Some of us want to grow and do something with ourselves. You know what I mean? I'm kidding. But listen, yes, we are growing. We're growing some cool fruits, getting something different in your palate, and also showing other people that, yes, this is possible, right? I am not the first nor the last to do this. Here's some ants that are working on this miracle fruit. This is why I like to come out and inspect everything, but there's some aphids that are working in there. I can see them. So maybe that'll get some sugar and borax in there. Couple little ponchos hanging. But this does take time. This takes every day of me coming out, especially if they're in pots. If they're in pots, you got to feed and you got to water on a daily basis. Unless you got a really sweet setup of irrigation. Right now, I don't have anything spraying over the top. Basically little drippers down below. But I run those like every other day, and it's just set on the actual trees. Everything else in the middle doesn't get much. So that's why we mulch, to go ahead and retain in a lot of the moisture, and it also feeds it as well. But yes, I mulch heavy in here, and I hand water. So all of the pots have to be hand watered. Why don't you ever show it? Well, it's because I use a secret Rican technique that I was promised and sworn to secrecy. I cannot show you guys. You guys are mere mortals. They said, do not share this technique. It's been in the family for a long time. I said, all right, 10-4. Look at this little sweet tart. Look at this. 3 in there. 1 here. This is a little overachiever here. 1 more down here. So 5 on this tiny little 7-gallon. Great little tree. I had to tie her up because she kept falling over with all this weight. She's front heavy, but can't wait to taste it. Juicy peach. All right, so yes, there is feeding, pruning, loving, but the more love you put in, the more you get out. Okay, and it's also different species. And not growing just one big monocrop of the same thing, because no, there's not a lot of pests for mangoes right now. Right? Thrips, they'll say, but there's lemon zest bagged up, one and only. I went ahead and tied her up just to the Nandule over here for some support, but one and only. Let me get back in the shade because I see this camera giving out here shortly. Yes, there's a lot of work, but it will pay. And I forgot I was going on something else, but there's my only Ceci love there. Went ahead and tied her up underneath the Shangri-La, but it's too much shade, so I got to move that. We'll get sweeter fruit out in the sun. So trying to put it out, but still hold it up because this wind will knock over the fruit. And if it's my one and only, I'm trying to hang on to her. Rollini is really flowering hard. I'm trying to go ahead and hand pollinate some of these blooms to see what is possible, which one will hold. I know she's young. I know. But a brother can dream, folks. Can we dream? Just one little baby fruit to show that it's possible. Something. Show me some hope, little lady. But you treat them good. Give them some organic fertilizer. And right now, I'm not even using, here's another one that's really going off this year. I got 2 rock stars of Rollinias this year, but nothing holding just yet. They're young trees, I get it. But I'm only just doing sea kelp and fish. I got a new one that's mixed together. Works with one little baby on there, and the Marcus pumpkin with one. Oh, two. I just saw another one. There's one baby there. You gonna let two hold on this little tree? I don't know. Ask her. Talk to her and find out. She looks mighty pretty, mighty healthy. Can she do it? You're gonna have to tune in. Will we be that guy? Will we be that nursery that lets a tiny little tree hold fruit? Oh no. You mean you're gonna stunt a Marcus pumpkin? Why would you want to stunt a Marcus pumpkin? Well, because it's a huge tree and huge fruit. If I can have a baby, or one that produces a little bit less, then that would be more ideal for me. June plums are kicking. But yes, hand watering, coming out day by day, picking them up whenever the wind blows them over, keeping the pests off, managing the squirrels. There is a lot of work that goes into this. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's buggy. AC is beautiful. It's nice. You can't catch a heat stroke whenever you're inside, but you can't collect any fruit from inside either, folks. And you're just getting absorbed with a bunch of EMFs. Awesome frequencies. But all of these are out here with no fruit, just giving them full sun, letting them stretch. But yes, it is hot. And if you live here in Central Florida, then you know the drill. This time of year it gets extremely hot, and you do your work early, right? Take a little break and get back after it. But here we're doing some beans, different types of long beans, some wing beans, instead of passion fruit. The holes are way too small for passion fruit, so I figured do some long beans. So we'll get you. Let me get out of the sun as quickly as possible. That way my phone does not overheat, and there goes the whole video. So a couple of VPs hanging in there. It looks like two showing on there. Nothing crazy, but here's a Maria that I did on here. I got a little weird. It's a huge scion. Will it push? I don't know. She's very vigorous, but it's probably one of the thickest I've ever done on this little turpentine here. So yes, all of this is all done by hand. Yeah, I don't have a tractor. All this mulch, all spread by hand. Yeah, you need a big, you need a strong back and some strong knees for this lifestyle, right? This isn't for everybody. I know a lot of people come into this game banged up, and that's all right. There is healing out here. I'm trimming a lot of them. That way they will sprout. So we can get some fruit later on, or I can graft them later on. One little terp on here, and this one, it's clustered up. Hang on here. See if I can do this quickly. This one's got a few here, and some up top. And that's just a turpentine that was a cultivar at one point, and now in 2 years, it came up, sprouted, and fruited, which is wild. That's why when people say, "Oh my gosh, I had a mango that sprouted in 2 years," I go, "Yeah, more than likely, if you planted a cultivar that was grafted, right, a grafted tree, maybe it died on you. You waited, it grew back up, and yeah, you can get fruit in 2 years. But it is turpentine, yay!" So just hand watering, even all of this in here. I still mulch it, but man, if there's no rain in the forecast, it needs it. Carry starting to bloom over here before my other carry. So it is nice to be able to grow different trees of the same cultivar just to see what they're doing and how they're doing it differently. Pulled my first cherry the Rio Grande yesterday, and it was a very tiny little fruit. Nothing to really write home about, but itty bitty. Hopefully they get a little bit bigger. Still pulling a few more Surinames off. And sugar apples are really blooming right now. This little tree is kicking off a bunch. I came out and hand pollinated some of these as well. They do set a few fruit on their own, but better to hand pollinate. And it only takes a few seconds. The coop came to say, "Hey, what's up, girly? What's up, mama?" Been eating watermelon and all kinds of good stuff. Finally got the cone off yesterday. So she is happy to get all the head scratches and to be able to scratch herself. But anyways, she is running the muck up in here, y'all. Pray for me, for real. All right. Oh, I just spooked the cardinal. So the cardinal still in the nest. I'm sorry, baby girl. Still in the nest, and she's got two little legs in there. Well, what happened was I came in here and trimmed up the mango the other day, this turpentine here. Hang on, I'll do this as quickly as possible. She can come back and jump on her eggs. Let me see if I can show y'all. See those? Hopefully it's in frame, but she's just hanging out there. I'm sorry. So anyway, I'll talk quickly. Made a little shade for her because I took out took out the mangoes. I need these to go ahead and sprout so I can regraft later. So unfortunately, yeah, I picked the tree over her. So therefore, unfortunately, I went ahead and made up for it. Gave her a little shade. All right, I don't call the Audubon Society and tell them that I'm over here taking out homes. No, I do like the birds. All right, bird is the word. Sorry. So now look at these Sri Kambangans holding. We got 3 showing. I did this the other day, and I had to ditch the video. All right, doesn't matter. I had to ditch it, so here we go. Today, got it in the shade, so hopefully, hang on here. Let's spin this bad boy around. I've been wanting to get a Brix test on this Sri Kambangan, just because we got to find out. Let's see. Yeah, we got to find out how sweet she is, right? So the edges are already wrinkling up on there. You know that it's ready. Nice and orange. Decent size. Very nice size. Let me do this quickly as possible. I am open, so who knows? Who will show up? So today, got the old Brix meter once again. It's already washed off. Don't worry. I know a lot of y'all are like, man, you sprinkle sugar in there. No, I'm not cheating. I'm trying to do this by the books here, folks. Like using alcohol and like really disinfect, no, but it's close enough. Plus minus half, you know, I'm not cheating anybody. I'm just kind of ripping this up just to get a little bit of a drop. Didn't bring a real blade, but pruner's reward. So let's see how sweet she is. Oh, I'll have to do this. Holding both of them. Let's do this. Let me around. I'm gonna have to bring you down a little bit so you can see this. Hang on. Bear with me, folks. Thanks for watching. Highly recommend these, y'all, because they can tell you, oh, this is a very sweet fruit, this and that, but show me the numbers, right? That's what we're doing here. So let's see if we can't get this in the sun so you can see. Hang on here. Technical difficulties. I'm trying to set this up to the best of my ability. Hang with me. But I'm going to do this first. It's on. I'll zero it out. A little bit of juice in there. Oh, let me get that on camera so you can think that it's coming from another source. Just squeezing a little bit to fill that little receptacle there. So all you need is a little bit of the juice. I'm going to hit the start button from here, and then I'll adjust it as needed. Turn it on twice. Woo! Not bad, folks. Hang on. 11.9. I know you can barely see that. All right, 11.9. There is a decimal there. That's pretty legit. I think Carrie was 13, if I'm not mistaken. Let's give it the old sip test. Woo! That is sweet, folks. Sweet. And it's out here in the sun, so of course it is warm. You chill that bad boy, and that is an excellent, excellent, nice little fruit to eat on a hot day. It is advisable to go ahead and cut off these ridges. Okay, that's where the oxalic builds up, allegedly. All right. They say that the sweeter the carambola, right, the less acid that it has on there. According to Mr. Greendine, I am no professional. Please consult your physician if you have any kidney issues. All right, don't sue me telling, you know, Dwayne told me to eat a bunch of them. Whoa, moderation, folks. All right, but if you're gonna eat a bunch, you know, cut off that ridge, and it does help. But excellent sweet fruit. Let's taste it. Let's see. This one I told Nan, I was like, hey, I had the other one, so I told her the next one is hers. So she's not here at the moment, but let's taste it. Confirm the sweetness. Oh yeah, that's money there. Very nice, folks. And I was debating getting rid of it. I honestly was. I'm like, Carrie's my girl. You know, she's sweet. She produces a lot. And I'll say this. I've had Sri Kambangan before, and it had this bitterness to it. A little bit of a bitterness tone. Is it there now? Slightly. It's like a small amount of like a bitter film. But Is it worth having? Yes. Yeah, it's a good tree. Does it produce the same amount as Carrie? No, but it's still cool. Let me leave so that way she can come back to her spot. But yes, sweet fruit. All right, I still will carry Carrie. If you want the Sri Kambangan, then we can set it up. But Carrie's my girl. Doesn't have that bitterness. This has a hair amount of bitterness. But we got trees still, folks. Come on over and see me. We are open this weekend. Well, what's today? Yeah, Friday. Friday till 6, Saturday 10 to 6, Sunday 12 to 5. Oh, check it out. Thursday, May 22nd. I am closed due to a graduation. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, it's that time. So I will be closed Thursday, this next Thursday. So the gates will be closed. But come on through. We always got something for you. Woo. All right. Something for everyone. I'm sure you don't have all of this stuff. Yes, Dwayne, I got it all. Well, man, then you are that type of good grower that we need to talk, you know? Let me know. Maybe I'll buy from you if you got it all, right? But just maybe you do have this stuff. I get it. But if you don't, come on over and see me. I'm always trying to get something new and different. Always growing and grafting and trying to get people excited about this lifestyle, because maybe it's not for you right now. Maybe your setup doesn't allow for, growing. Maybe you live in an HOA. Boo, I know. Some of y'all still do that. But little pitcher plant, little carnivorous plant. I get it. It is what it is. But sooner or later, maybe this will be something that you guys are saying, hey, I'll do this later on when I'm retired. Then I'll jump in the garden. Friends, family, mi gente. That's too late, man. That's too late. You're going to retire at 65 and then start growing. Life expectancy, they say, is like 77, right? Come on, man. No way. With what energy? Your knees and your back, and oh my gosh, you don't need 4 bacchiotomies by then, man. No. Get started now. Yes, it's hot. Yes, it's brutal. All right, there's no clouds in the sky today. But get yourself some shade cloth. If you're here, there's no reason why you can't build some sort of contraption like this from any big box store. You can go get some cheap lumber, pressure treated, that is, put up some 50% shade cloth and play underneath it. Yes, there's microplastics. Yes, I understand that, the health parameters of that. But you know what? I'd rather sit underneath this for a little bit of the time of the day versus being out there getting scorched, getting a heat stroke. So you got to create your shade and think about it, right? You can either grow it, by Mexican sunflower or just your huge fruit trees, but it takes years, right? But until then, go out to Amazon, find some cheap shade cloth and build something for you. I'm not telling you to go out and, oh man, to build it. Listen, I'm just saying what I'm doing, right? This is another option. It's not a must, but I'm getting away with it over here because, a lot of people will say, aren't these trees full sun? Well, yes, they are. Will take full sun, but they can't regulate their temperatures in these black pots, especially without that boogie woogie juice, right? You give them that 20 twin, they will dance in the full sun and they can hold that temp, no problem. But on the natch, once you go ahead and you give them, and yeah, I'm kind of low on stuff, but still, we're still holding some stuff. I know you're like, where's everything at, man? You don't have enough. Listen, we always got something, right? But we got to move the old to get in the new, right? Out with the old, in with the new. But got to move this stuff too, folks. But yeah, on the natch, they like a little bit more shade in these black pots. If these pots were white, it'd be excellent. But guess what? The white doesn't, they don't hold up well in the sun. So black is more durable. So that's what the trade does. Don't judge. Don't judge the first fruit, y'all. Look at this peach. Done put out a connected fruit. That is 2. It looks like 2, but it's all connected into 1. Are you serious? Yeah, man. Don't judge this tree. This is just putting out one solid sack. One fruit. All right. Tropic snow peach. We got it all here, folks. We got the rare. We got the common. We got a little in between. Come over and check us out. I'll go on and on. But listen, folks, it's a hot weekend. Y'all stay safe. Get a neck fan. That helps. All right. It really does. It brings up morale. Makes you from complaining as much. All right, trust me, it does help. You look like a goob. I get it. You know, not everyone's like, my gosh, that looks so cool. No, I understand. Hang on, hang on. I know exactly. I understand. It looks horrible, right? But I feel cool. I'm telling you, doesn't matter what how I look. Listen, folks, go get you some fresh fruit, man. Whether you're growing it, or you got to purchase it. All right, be careful your sources. Try to find the most organic source. There is some available, some organic places, but you're going to end up paying a little bit more. But listen, you are what you eat, folks. Try to do your best. Anyways, if not, go out there and start planting seeds. You know, find the best way to go ahead and grow on the cheap. There are ways that you can do this. Okay. If you're not around here, find your local nursery. I'm sure they'll go ahead and help you out better than a big box store. All right. Don't settle for less, folks, because they can't help you. And those trees will go south. They'll die on you. And then you're like, oh, I can't grow anything. Oh, I got a black thumb. No, it's the trees, man. I'm telling you, it depends on where you're getting them from. They're juicing them hard. And if you don't match the hatch on the juice, then you will lose it all. So anyways, be careful, y'all. Don't get swindled. Eat you some fresh fruit. Love y'all. Peace. Have a great weekend.